Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy. Today we're talking about Battlefield 5 because you may have noticed, those of you that have been around the channel for a while, that I haven't been putting out much Battlefield 5 content. In fact, none for a while, and I thought we would talk about that. Rest some of your minds and just explain, because you are equally part of this channel. Without you guys, I don't have viewership, and without me, you don't have content. So it's a two-way street. You're very, very important, so let's talk it out. This is completely unscripted today because I feel like it's a more genuine way of doing this, and some of you seem to prefer that also. And yes, you may be able to hear in my voice that I am still ill, and that is part of why there hasn't been much content, at least for the past 4 or 5 days. I've had the flu, so I think I'm just about getting better. So thank you for your well wishes on Twitter. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Those of you that do already will have known about this. I communicate, that was my cat jumping up on something if you heard that in the background. I communicate on Twitter a lot more, it's a lot easier for me to do, so follow me there if you want to stay up to date with what's going on, have an impact on my ideas, all that kind of stuff. So, let's get it clean out of the way to begin with. This doesn't mean I'm stopping doing Battlefield entirely. I've had to say that multiple times in the past, but I understand why I need to. Just because a lot of you come here expecting Battlefield, and so you might be disappointed if I were to stop doing it, so you'd like to know if I'm going to stop doing it. So no, it's not that I'm not going to do Battlefield anymore, it's just that I'm not a Battlefield focused channel anymore. And we have had talks like this before, but it was always about planning to change things, whereas now things have changed. You may have seen that I have had some Destiny videos out of late. And moving forwards, there will continue to be some Destiny, but also I'm bringing back some Battlefield now that I feel a bit more refreshed. You know, I've been playing some other games and now I feel like I can do Battlefield again, thankfully. But I'm no longer invested in competing to be one of those guys that's first to all the new content all the time and stuff, because it doesn't interest me as much now, and we'll get into that. And 2, it doesn't feel as worthwhile anymore, and we'll also get into that. But as you're here today, use the comment section today to let me know what you think of Battlefield 5 at the minute, whether you've changed different games, and what you hope for from games this year. You know, what are you looking forward to play? Are you going to stick with Battlefield? How do you hope the next Battlefields come out? All that kind of stuff. Anything relevant to our discussion, please get it out there and let me and everyone else know. So, I have decided to not simply focus on Battlefield anymore because I don't think it's a great platform to have as your only content. The growth potential is poor. It's just not there, especially when there are already established creators. I know it could be argued that I'm an established creator on it, so well, there's 2 ways of looking at that. One, there's the really, really big guys, like Jack Frags, and then a bit below him, people like Westy and Broken Machine, people like that. With Battlefield 5 not having the largest player base anymore, and with interest being low within the wider gaming sphere, they take up a lot of the viewership. So people such as myself struggle to move past the point we're already at. Now, where I'm at now and have been at, as you look at my December stats, was more than fine. I had a very good December for me, actually. 400 and something thousand views, which for a channel with 30,000 subscribers or so, it is pretty good, and earns reasonably solid money when I have other revenue streams going on as well. But I'm not doing YouTube to settle. You know what I mean? I do this because I love doing it, I love making content, I want to make the most of it, and I feel like Battlefield hasn't been allowing me to make the most of it for quite some time now, as well as not allowing me to enjoy it as much. And then the flip side of that is also, I feel sorry for the guys really trying to come up at the minute, the guys smaller, the guys trying to become established creators, because they're looking at people like myself and feeling they can't get to the next stage because of me. Unless you're Azura. Azura's done really well in the past few months, so fair play to him. I guess because he's focusing on the vehicles and not many people do, so well done to him for finding a niche, oddly. Yeah, but vehicles, a niche in Battlefield, that's how much content creation has dropped off for this game. That he can do vehicles and be one of the few guys doing it now. But good for him, I'm really happy for him. So what's the reason that I don't feel it's providing a good platform? Well, as I said, it's the lower interest, the lower viewership, the low player base. But there are reasons for this. And the reasons for this are, I think, missing basic functions, poor management, and messing the player base around. I don't want to get into a rant about this today. I do have plans to cover these things in future in depth, so expect some of that coming out soon. But when you're still missing team balancer, when you're still missing effective anti-cheat, when you're still missing just these things that you expect to have in a game, and it's been out way over a year, it turns people off. Not just people like me, content creators who don't play as much now. I mean, it turns people away full on from playing, just in general. I mean, I've taken this channel from, I was just doing it basically on the side while I was at uni and had a job. Seen it all the way through to this point here, where it's my living. And I think the point I want to put across to you is, do you understand how bad it has to be for someone like myself to not step away entirely, but take a step back from doing something which gives them solid income, making content, to then go and do other things where I'm picking up, you know, maybe 1,000 views on a video or something, which isn't much money in case you're not aware. That should really highlight how bad things have become. And I was, as I said earlier, just pretty much burnt out. And that's a lot of players, unfortunately, now. Just very much burnt out on the game. They've lost faith. It's just a bit of a sad state of affairs, really. Sorry if my voice goes up and down. I really am struggling with this cough and flu and stuff, so I'm trying. I apologise. So essentially my plan is that after speaking to other creators, oh yeah, I have no idea how much coughing I'm editing out of this. Yeah, having spoken to other creators, some of them that you will very much know of, I've kind of switched my plans for the next year. For the next year isn't just about growth now, it's about finding what's next. Finding what I think can work from a viewership standpoint and from an enjoyment standpoint for me, because I couldn't, there was no way I could continue to do Battlefield for the just unknown amount of future. Like it just wouldn't have worked out. And some of you guys were noticing, you were saying that the content seems to be getting negative, or Jesus Christ, or, you know, I don't seem to be enjoying it. I might have to cut this short. I'm really struggling. I really want to try and get this out for you guys today, but my voice is failing me a lot. So yeah, I need to find what's next. I'm going to be playing a lot of different games, and oh god. I'm going to cut this video like half as short, unfortunately. Go playing a lot of different games, continue to play Battlefield, Destiny, new releases, all sorts of stuff, but I'm sorry, I really got to stop. I'm finding it too difficult. I'd probably come and try to do this a day early, maybe. But hey-ho, I've got this far. I'll edit this out now and get rid of all the coughing. So I'm sorry if it's not very coherent, but I wanted to get a video out. It's been about 5 days and I couldn't sit around being ill anymore. So appreciate all your support. Here's the Board of Awesome. They're epic. They're really helping at the minute when I'm doing videos on other games that don't really get any views. So thank you. Thank you so much. I love them all deeply and often. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and a pinned comment. And with that all said, I am GetGoodGuy and I will see you next time, hopefully not as ill. Laters. When a game has laser beam accuracy, these kind of weapons are going to do well, and it makes it very, very hard to balance the game in a reasonable fashion. So yes, I think the Type 2A is overpowered. I think this is fairly obvious from how much it's being used. I felt it was fairly obvious in my own experiences with it, but it's not quite as overpowered as some people think.